Okay, hey Erica, if you're watching, I'm gonna work on your sub plans on Facebook because I realized that I had two things kind of scheduled. In my mind, I wanted to work on your sub plans, and then I was like, I said I would go live more because I'm lonesome. So I was talking to Erica yesterday, and she was talking about how they can't get subs. And I was like, well, Erica, I mean, she already had thought about this, but I was saying, hey, look, Erica, you should really make a sub plan and just make sure that if you have to have a sub day, because it's probably going to be her doing the teaching, that you have a sub plan ready that is for every single class that you're going to teach. So you don't have to do anything except record one video and hit play, and it will guide the kids through the lesson. So she can hit play and tell the kids like, okay, kids, I'm going to be just listening to you guys in the chat, with her sick voice or whatever. And then turn off the video of herself so she can just sit there, answer their questions in the chat, and have them work through this video lesson. So I'm gonna get my phone, which would have been good if I brought it over here, because on my phone I took some notes. Oh wait, I guess I could just check my notes app because I sure can't find my phone. Yeah, so I took some notes and we talked about some various things that she needs in this sub plans. But if you're watching, would you please leave a comment on the Facebook about what have you done for subs, and is it hard for you to get subs? Because it sounds like it's pretty darn hard, at least for Erica. Okay, so I just found what she shared with us, and I'm going to share my screen and bring you guys over to my world so we can get started. Here we have sort of a blank canvas because I'm just going to start from scratch. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and I'm just going to make a new Google Docs, and I'm just going to paste in my notes so that you guys can see them too. I'll share some of these resources at the end. I'll send you the link to it. I'll put it on Facebook when I'm finished. So Erica, plans. So Erica said that she would make the video. And so she's going to be like speaking in Spanish to make the video. And then we will put them on the Teachers Pay Teachers store, so that like you could actually just have Erica teach your class if you need to take a sub day and you don't have a sub, because I think that's going to be a common thing. Okay, so the first thing that we talked about is, okay, so this should actually all just be the same size. It's just coming over from my notes app, so it just looks really weird. All right, so the first thing that we said that she was going to do is do a Jamboard, and she said that like her students are really excited about using, well, she hasn't used Jamboard yet, but Erica, if you're watching, it's really, really easy. And she said her kids are really excited on, I forget what she said that she's using, but that they're loving doing like their emotions. Erica teaches elementary school, so they're just loving working on their emotions. So I'm just going to start a Jamboard like from scratch. Oh, here. And if you have used Jamboard, will you tell me in the chat? Tiffany Dalton Lopez over the summer was like, Tina, you got to use Jamboard. You got to try it. And I was like, Tiffany, I don't want anything new that I have to learn. My brain is tired. And she was like, no, you've got to use Jamboard. It's so fun. And so I did capitulate and try it. And I'm really glad that I did. Erica's sub plans. I honestly think that needs to be like a registered trademark. I think that's what we will call them when we put them on the TPT store. We'll just call them Erica Poplinsky brand sub plans. Okay, so she said for like 5 minutes, she wants her students to have just something that they can respond to, some type of a picture, and put in their emotions. So I'm gonna leave a little note here, and I will say to the students, pick, maybe choose an emoji. And write your name like on it. I don't know, maybe this is too much because her kids might not be literate. All right, well, we're not going to do that. So I think what I will do is actually just go over to Canva and grab this check-in. I have a ton of different like check-in graphics. And we'll just see if there's any that look like they're appropriate for the elementary crowd. So let's see, to have fun. So this would probably be good for more like the older elementary crowd. And then probably something like this would be good for the lower kids. So, and I might actually, for the lower kids, I'm gonna, oh, actually I wanted to make a copy. Because it's gonna be Erica brand. Erica and check in graphics. Whoops. Okay. So it says me siento. Okay, and like people are telling me that this adorable, which I think is like truly adorable, font is too much for their students. They can't read it. So if you've got elementary students especially, you might not want that. So I think I do like having the rainbow, but it might be a little much for the elementary crowd. So I'm just going to delete all of that. And then I'm coming over here to elements, and I'm going to get the frame. Oh, wait, it's not the frame. It's the grids. Yeah, I'll just use this little grid. So like for the super little kids, I think just 2 will be fine. And then I'm going to take these and like make a copy of them and like put them up here at the top just to kind of like, you know, decorate it for the kids so it looks cute. And also helps to scaffold their comprehension of what me siento means, because, you know, if they're 5 years old, it might not be. So I can take this and as a group, I can slide it up until I see this red line. And then I know that they're the same size as those other ones. And then if I'm really careful, I can still keep sliding them around like as a group until I kind of get them where I want them. And then I'm going to collect these little 3 ones and stick them under here, just like that other one over there. And then me siento is a little big, so I'm going to put it here. Or a little small, I guess. And then I'm going to take this. I just came up with this idea. I've never done this before, but I think it's going to look cute. It's elementary, right? So I'm like just getting my elementary school teacher on. My mom taught a lot of like primary, like early childhood. So she has dealt with a lot of bodily fluids in her day. And she also makes everything look super cute. Like when I was a kid, she was basically like running a little, like a little kindergarten right there at home. So yeah, maybe I'll just put behind them like some type of a color that's not going to appear down below. So I'm going to hit, I have a Mac, but if you have a Mac, you can go Command, Option, and then the square brackets that face to the ones that would open the brackets to make it go all the way to the back. And then, I don't know, maybe a nice blue color. I'll share this template with you guys here on this if you want it. I don't know. I think it would look better if it was a little bit transparent. All right. So for the little tiny kids, one, I'm not going to use this font. I thought it was cute, but I've been hearing from some teachers that the kids can't read cursive, like even a font that looks like cursive. So I'm going to do that. And then, I'll just put like, I don't know, to me, pink looks like positive and like blue, you know, because if you're blue and sad, but that's a little too pink and blue. So I'm going to be like that. I don't know though. They're elementary kids. So they're all like, maybe, I don't know. Gender is supposedly dead. I saw it. I was in San Francisco a few years ago and I saw on the side of a building, like huge graffiti that said gender is dead. And this was actually like probably about 7 years ago. So for me, I was unaware of a lot of what I'm more aware of now in the world of gender and like cis privilege and stuff like that. And so I was like, what does that mean? But anyway, I was going to say gender might be dead to some people, but I am sure to a lot of students in elementary school, like pink and blue, like represent girl and boy. And that just can kind of lead to some conflict among the elementary crowd. So I'm just going to make this a little less boy girl looking. Let's just make it, this doesn't look so good. Maybe green. That looks good. Yeah, so we're keeping it a little less controversial. So then I'm gonna remove all these. Oh wait, because I just tacked that down with the lock. Now I can like do stuff like this on top of it and not move it. So if a Canva annoys you, okay, watch, I unlocked it and now I'm gonna like try to do that. And now I've got this, I have to like undo it. And if I'm like in here and I try to, it's not gonna work so good. It's gonna like grab that and like try to take it around. So I'm just gonna lock that down and then I can like drag around on the, whoops. I'm gonna drag around on these to my heart's content. Okay, I'm gonna get those out of the way. So I think for like the really, really little kids, I would literally just put like happy and like where's just sort of a, maybe sort of like meh right here. Cause you know, there's some kids that like, they cannot make up their minds. And then is there just like a little bit sad person? I don't want to like depress the poor children, you know, they're like just little kids. I'm just whittle. I'm not so sad. All right. So I think we're going to call that good for the whittle ones and bring this down here. So that's really cute, but you know what? I'm thinking actually like maybe it's a little too busy with all these on there. So I'm just going to take those off and see how it looks. So see, again, I'm going to pin that down because that way I can do all kinds of things that like otherwise are super annoying. This I might want to make like a different color just because I don't know, it just doesn't look so great. Ugh. I guess that one's okay. So now that I've got my cute little like face behind it, I don't want it to like scale differently. So if I want to make the words bigger, whoops. Oh, I guess I had like locked that down. So I'm gonna unlock that, send it back behind. And then if I want it to scale the same way, I need to like grab it all together and then start scaling it. There we go. That looks good. So then I can just download this as a PNG or a JPEG. I'm just going to go for the PNG. I'm going to make it bigger in case a teacher needs to project it behind them. And I'll just download that. I'm not going to have time to do all of them right now, but we can go ahead and put this in there. Okay, so Jamboard's a little bit funky. in that you can't, unfortunately, like put in a background like you can with Google Slides. So we could do this in two different ways. Maybe I'll show you guys both ways that you could do it. Google Slides is actually easier to deal with, but the thing is that Jamboard is it's a simpler interface. It has it's got definitely its benefits that like Google Forms don't have. But I will also make a Google form, or I mean, sorry, a Google slide, just to show you. So we're just going to call this Erica Subplans 2. And then for in here, let's actually, I think I will come back over here because I want to show you how to do multiple ones at one time. Okay, so let's call that the very basic one. And then we could do one that's more like intermediate for her, like kind of mid elementary kids. And so I'm gonna hit Command A and select all of that and like unlock it so I can work with it. So I'm just gonna keep that same thing up at the top, but I think for the older children, it might be nice to actually use the same. Where did that go? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think they could probably handle 6 different options. So I'm going to go Command Option bracket to send it to the back. I'm going to bring that down because I had made that a little bit transparent. So I don't want you to be able to see through it. And then I make this a little transparent too, just to kind of take away some of the intensity. And then, so now all this stuff is locked. Oh, wait, I unlocked it. So now I'm going to relock that down so it's not getting in my way. And then, so now I have a bunch of different options. So I think I'll put the meh face there and like the sad face here. Now, these are older children probably. So I think they can handle the, you know, the dirty truth that like sometimes we're not just a little bit sad. Sometimes we're like really sad. So, but not that sad, right? To me, this is more like the snarky level of like a 5th or 6th or 7th grader. So I'm gonna keep that for the really old kids. I think maybe, so there's like happy, and so they're like super happy. So you see how kind of, this is how I think of it. It's like, this is really great. And this is like the worst. So I think I would put the surprise here. So it's like really great, kind of neutral, and then like negative. Okay, so we've got that for the middle level kids. And then for the upper level kids, I would keep this. So then for the little kids, it's just like contente and then triste. Okay, so again, people aren't really loving this font, so I'm gonna change it to a really simple font. And I like this myself, so I'm just gonna use that. I know there's just like endless amounts of talking about like what do we think of like contente, but I'm just not putting that there because I'm not sure how Erica feels about that usage. Like with the E at the end, but that's practically, to me, that's like practically the same thing. It's like O, E, A, whatever you want to, you know, put there. So we're going to say contento. And I'm going to make that like the same color as this was underneath. And then I'll come up here and just like drag it over here. So it's like, I don't know, it looks pretty, I might put this at the, maybe I'll put this in them. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. There's always those kids that like can't decide. So I might tell them like, just get your like, I can't decide to hang out here at the bottom. Cause I swear there's sometimes those kids that is like, they will, if they feel like teacher didn't give me that option to not be decided, they will like make your life really difficult. Like they won't give it up, you know? Okay, so I want to show you guys something that saves me a lot of time. So I'm going to go up here to this paste formatting, and I'm going to put the contente on the triste, but I don't want the triste to be this color. It's just that like now I don't have to worry about any of the other aspects of it except for just the color. So I'm going to go back and get that same color again, come up here to a new color, and then like just drag it kind of random over to where it's a little bit darker. Okay, I like that. That looks pretty good. So then I'm just going to take this and this. So I held down Shift and I went to select more than one element here in Canva. I just clicked on it and then I hit Shift and held it down until I clicked on that. And then I can release Shift and now I've got both of them. So then I can do any like function on them. I can make them littler, I can make them bigger, and they're both going to get affected. So what I want to do at this point is just make a copy of them. So I just hit Command C and then Command V. But these are going to need to be smaller because obviously we have more stuff. So I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. Sometimes you have to like hit Command plus plus plus. If you're like really zoomed out, I suppose. It won't let you sometimes like manipulate it like down to the level that I want to be able to manipulate it to. Okay, so this, again, I'm just going to come down here. Like whenever I'm using colors, I tend to just stick with these colors down here as like my starting place because it saves me like a bunch of time. In fact, I wish they'd all be up here at the top because it would be a lot easier for me. But I'm still going to just use that little trick of like using that color as like the jumping off place to just like get a related color that's the same hue, just a different like intensity, or I don't know. I'm like practically an art school dropout, so I don't really know. So then let's see, Denise stays like over here. And so you see how that pops up, this line down here. It's basically telling you that that triste and this contente is like ready to go. So again, I used the same blue. So I can just come up here and get that down. So now, you know, I'm into uncharted waters as far as like making this little thing goes. So that one, I suppose, is, yeah, this color. And then same trick. Just gonna darken it up a little. It's a little too dark though. Don't you think, folks? So I'm just gonna put muy triste. Okay, Canva naturally sets the line spacing to 1.4 line height, and I don't like that. And I wish that there was a way to like tell the program that I don't ever really want 1.4 line spacing, but I can't figure out how to do that. So you have to go up there and like adjust the line spacing. Something else you can do is adjust the letter spacing or the kerning, which is like the number of like points and picas in between all the different letters and stuff. So if you, I don't know, let's say you kind of want to like get it all on a 1, but you're like, oh, if only I could make it fit. You don't necessarily always have to make it the font size smaller. You can just like play around a little bit with the kerning. And in Canva, you can actually go pretty deep. Like you can put like 50 and the letters are still distinct from each other. So then I'm just going to copy that, bring it over here, line it up. And so this one I'm going to, let's see, I think I actually have it down here. Sorprendido and but I don't like that way. I just want to use the same not technology, but the same terminology. So this is definitely going to need the letters to go in a little bit. I don't even know if that's going to fit. Yeah, so I might have to, unfortunately, make it a little smaller. But I'm going to make it just as small as I'm going to make it as big as I can and still fit in there. Kind of like the Showcase Showdown. It's like the price as close to $1 as possible without going over. So I'm not going to copy this one because it had to be like a weird one. And I had to change the kerning and the font size. What do we say for this one? I guess that's what we did. Okay. I know a lot of people want to say asi, but I don't think that's as commonly used as we like to kind of pretend like it is. I'm not really gonna mess too much with that kerning because of all the dots that's in there. So I'm just gonna do it like that. And then, so yellow can be sort of a challenge. It's hard to deal with yellow. To be honest, yellow is a problem child because it's really difficult to make it stand out. But there is an effect in here that you can like make. It's kind of a double process. You can make that into like the outline, okay? But you can make it super thin, okay? And then like to make a yellow outline, like to outline something that is yellow, I like to go for kind of like a dark orange. And so then I'm just gonna copy and paste that. I'm gonna take off that effect, and I'm gonna make this like the yellow that I wanted. And then I can just like stick that together. That might not be quite dark enough. That looks pretty good. So then I can just kind of stick it over it, and you see like it'll tell me when I have it like aligned. See that little cross that came up in the middle. So now I know that it's aligned. So now I'm going to go command bracket to send it backwards. So it's just like behind that one. So now the one that's on top is actually the hollow one. And honestly, I think I might have made it a little too not so thick. So I'll make it like that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Triste because that was the one that didn't have like weird stuff. Oh, like the kerning and whatnot. And so let's see, what do we say for this one? Oh, I guess, oh, okay, so this one was like, yeah. So this one's muy feliz. And this one's feliz. Okay. This was like the original color. Come here, make it a little darker. Ooh, that's kind of ugly. Yeah, that's not too bad. So I'm gonna say, well, since I'm saying feliz, I'm not gonna say contente. Muy. Oop. Muy. Muy. Oop. Feliz. And then I'm gonna zoom back out so I can see how it looks kind of all together. And that looks pretty good. Okay, oh man, what a dummy. I should have copied them instead of like moving them all. I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna grab these. So you see this in the back is not locked down. So I'm gonna lock that down so that I can, and in fact, I'll just lock these down too. So that way I can just select everything else and bring it on over. And lucky for me, it'll be in exactly the right place. There we go. Let's see what happens when I just change this to that Spartan. It's so Spartan. I'm gonna make you guys like run outside of Sparta and like forage for your own food and not give you anything to wear while you're doing it. Don't worry, it'll build character. So instead of like sitting here and struggling with this, I could do this. So I'm gonna select that row and I'm gonna say that I want those all positioned in the center. And then I'm gonna select this and do the same thing. I wish they had keyboard shortcuts for this, but alas, they do not. You guys, literally, when I wake up in the morning, I like, first thing I do is like fire up Canva. Like that's kind of where I go to like get my marching orders in the morning. It's kind of a weird existence, but it's sort of like I go check in on Canva. I don't know why that's weird. I don't know why there's periods there. Okay, and then position to the center and position to the center. Okay, Well, I basically just really wanted to show you guys this little trick. So I'm going to do a PNG again. And again, I always try to make it like as big as possible because I'm never sure like if somebody's going to need to project it. And I don't want it getting all pixely and ugly when they do that. So I'll come over here to the Erica's Subplans registered trademark. And I'm going to use the, I have this add-on called Slides Toolbox. And it really is worth a script attached to this document needs it permission to run. I will happily give it permission. I trust you, Slides Toolbox. Trust you with my life, Slides Toolbox. Okay, so Slides Toolbox. I mean, this is not that big of a deal because there's only 3 of them. But if you have a lot of things to do, like if you're going to make a whole slideshow, and then you want to set them as the background, which that's why I'm kind of thinking like with all these slidable things. Okay, because in a Jamboard, this you can't lock it down, right? So like if the kid was like, cool, I'm gonna put my little like emoji here. And like, oh, and whoops. And write my name. They can accidentally like delete and move this around. Whereas over here, we could make it such that they do not have that option. And the way to do that is by setting the pictures as your background. And like manually doing it on every single one can get really tedious, especially if there's more than just, 3. There's only 3 right now, but oh, wait. There's something weird about the way my computer has things organized. I have to like do it in this view because it has to say 1, 2, 3. Whatever order it says it in the list here is the order that they'll show up in my slideshow. And like, especially if you've got like 12 or 15 slides or more, it can be really tedious to have to go and like reorganize them. So I've just learned that the hard way. Oh, and I'm not going to get to do much of this lesson, but because I'm going to go soon. But there we go. So you could use this after you upload them to make like a pear deck. If you did make a pear deck, I would recommend that you maybe like make a copy. Whoops, it was not a copy. Make a copy. And I'm going to go select all, and then I'm going to unlock it. And then, well, wait, I'm going to keep that locked because what I'm trying to do is like make room at the bottom for that pear deck thing that they have to have in there. There's always like a little stripe at the bottom with like the pear deck instructions or whatever for the, for the slide. So why don't you just get off of my thing I'm trying to do here? So I don't like to have a lot of sort of pictures sticking off the bottom, like anything that I would want them to be able to see or give them room to work on. I don't want to have to deal with it. So for a pear deck, what I usually do is just like stick this down at the bottom and like about that big. It's about enough room. I'll just leave it white. So here, I'll just download that one so you can see if I can make a pear deck. Over here, like make a pear deck slide just to show you. Okay, so then we have this. So nobody can, like when the kids are in here, like if they're collaborating with you, they won't be able to move these things around. But they will be able to, I guess they weren't quite in the right, as I was conceiving it, beginner to advanced order there. I guess that really doesn't matter. She might see her advanced kids before her beginner kids. So what I'm going to do now I guess I could do two different things. Like if I was doing it for my own self, one thing that I might do is make like words. Oh, let's see, maybe write. Maybe vocab. Unfortunately, this is kind of like how my brain works. They might like this. I'm just going to use these. Okay. So like I would take this off. I mean, you could leave that on if you want. You could have it be like, me siento like feliz. See, again, I really hate that line spacing. So I'm just going to bring that up, make it a little smaller. And actually that little sun looks really kind of cute, but I would want to have it be the same. So I'm going to come and grab the way I put feliz over here and stick it over here. Whoops. I guess it still liked that one. Oh, because see, it was locked. So it won't pick it up if it's locked. Did I say muy feliz? We're gonna say that I said muy feliz. Oh, well, this one's gonna be muy feliz. That's really cute. Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna be able to show you guys because I gotta get going. Anyway, you might like that color, you might not. I'm just gonna go for, whoa, dude, not like that though. Woo! I'm just gonna go for basic, just a black background. But I mean, I guess you could make it like really, really cool, right? Because like the muy feliz is red, so you could keep it like that. These color forms have like a ton of different things. So here, I will give you guys a link to use it as a template. Let's see, where am I going to put that? Here. All kinds of colors. Just be warned though, this font is a font that I uploaded. So it's going to look like crud when you open it. You'll have to change it to another font unless you happen to have this Edmunds font. You can actually like upload. I think you have to have a professional account, but if you have the teacher account, you might be able to do it. So all these crazy ones like the punk restaurant. Anyway, I like that one. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this little trick. It's muy importante. Okay, so I'm gonna set it to transparent background, and like I could put whatever I want on there. There's lots and lots of various different things on here. These just happen to be the words from Searchie. Oh, you know, 1A. But okay, so if you put a transparent background, basically what it does is it like replicates this situation where this has a transparent background over here on a Google slideshow. Okay. So, I mean, I just have this one. Like, you would want more than one, but this is just one. So now that because it has a transparent background, like it has a transparent background over here too. And here's another little piece of advice. Jody Static taught me this. If you go zoom to 50%, you have all this room on the outside. So you can put this here. And like, depending on your internet speed and how good your kids are at technology, you could either put one or you could like make a little stack. So it will slow down the functionality of your computer though. So for this one, that's like the older students, I would expect them to be able to go Command C, Command V and like make their own and move it to where they, you know, want to say that they're muy feliz. And then for older kids, you could have them like put their name. And for like super advanced kids, you know, you could have them like write something about like why. For the younger kids, well, one, I would probably make it color coded, but it's not ready to be color coded yet because I have to go. But I just wanted to show you how to like stack things up. Okay, for one, for the younger kids, I would not stick it over to the side because this is, you know, it's going to end up like looking pretty confusing to the like young kids. I'm going to leave that there though, just in case you want it when you get this. Yeah, I need to share this with you guys too. Anyway, for the young kids, myself, I wouldn't trust them to make copies. So I would make the copies for them. So I'm going to go Command C, Command V, 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 however many kids I think might be contento. Then I'm going to select them all. And then you can come up here and you can go arrange, align, center, and you have to do it twice, align, middle. So now I've got this like stack, right? So basically every student can go down there and pick one and move it. So we might in this particular class just be like, it might just be like voting because they might not be able to like write their names and stuff like that. Well, anyway, we got through 5 minutes of Erica's soap plan. What I was really going to do though, is make like a couple of options for her. So I'm going to copy both of those and I'm going to paste them down here. And then in here, I'm going to go back and make like some, so for this one, it's best to use the presentation size. And yeah, I was just going to use like something that would make you happy, right? Like, look at this kid who has a cat and it's like also a Christmas tree behind this kid. This is amazing. So I'm going to put the Cali filter on because I love the Cali filter. I'm going to do that. And then most of the time, like kids find it more like cute when you put something in front. Cute. You can literally put cute into Canva and it gives you cuter things. Sometimes you get these weird ones that are like wagging their little cat tails. So personally, I always put like the static on there. This cat is kind of cute. I want one with a black background or a black like outline because it makes it pop a little bit better. So I think I'll put this little cat and then I'll put a Santa hat on him. It'll just be super cute. But again, like I want a Santa hat that has a black outline. So there we go. That Santa hat actually looks like it's from the same person. And then I'm actually going to send the Santa hat like behind this cat so that it can kind of make it look like he's wearing it. Oh, that's adorbs. And then I want one more situation that's not so great. So spill milk. Oh, look at this poor kid who spilt her milk. Oh no, maybe we'll put dropped ice cream. Oh no, how sad. I think I'll pick the one at the beach because like with your older kids, it might be fun to talk about like, well, I mean, you know, you might have dropped your ice cream, but at least you're at the beach. I mean, you're going to cry too much over that. Actually, I want to be able to see the sprinkles on the ice cream. So I guess I'm going to have to sacrifice the tip of the ice cream up there. All right. I do love the Cali filter. This is a little bit like if there's more white or kind of like beige or like a really light color in there, the Cali filter, I always try to take it down a little bit because it looks kind of dingy. Okay. Let's see what we can find for ice cream. That looks pretty good. Cool. Okay. Erica brand, check in, add pictures. You know, it's always funny because you're always gonna like have some kid who's like, I would be happy if I dropped my ice cream. I hate ice cream. And you're like, what planet are you from? Actually, I'm always like kind of in the back of my mind, like praying that I'm gonna have a kid like that, because even if they're lying, I'm so happy because they're like, you know, creating controversy. So I'm actually just gonna manually set the background because we'll start with the happy one. I mean, it's like, did this kid get this cat for Christmas? And like for your older kids, you could put all kinds of things like, you know, environmental destruction and stuff like that. I mean, for the little ones, it might be nicer, especially in a pandemic, to just have them think about cats and ice cream. I mean, let's go easy on them. So you could like kind of picture talk this, right? And you know, you could add all kinds of elements over here. Like you could change this and put like various flavors of ice cream. Because you could just change this. So, I mean, common ice cream flavors are vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. So let's just go for the vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. That chocolate doesn't look quite as tasty. That chocolate still doesn't look very tasty. I'm going to make it look like more chocolatey. Like, I want it. Ooh. It looked really tasty. Oh, look, let's see if I put chocolate. Doesn't look anything like chocolate. Oh, well, we're just going to go for that. So then you could like have a, you know, discussion with the kids, like, which flavor do you like better? Maybe somebody really like hates, you know, one of these flavors, and they'd be like, well, I wouldn't be sad if I dropped my strawberry because I hate strawberry. Oh, well, then we have to put pistachio because most kids hate pistachio. It's honestly pretty darn amazing, all the things that Canva has. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I placed my pistachios on my pistachio ice cream. And sometimes like what I'm going for is not exactly like realism. It's more just like symbolism, right? So if I had that over there, then I could have like more of a picture talk, like more things to talk about. You know, here I could have like put it half and half by like using the same like frame. You can actually like insert a picture into each different side of this frame. And I could put like a cat and a dog, maybe. Like, would you be happy if you got a cat? Would you be happy if you got a dog? There's all kinds of things you can do. So like what I was thinking is like she could describe this on the video and then have them vote. And then she could describe this on the video and then have them vote. And then for the older kids, like she could do the same thing and then maybe add a couple more down here. Now, myself, if I don't want my students to see things, I like to just do that. So like that way, like my first graders aren't like getting distracted by what I have like planned for my fifth graders. Like if the slides don't fill up the whole thing. That way you don't have to make two different things because honestly, here you are, like being sick and doing your own sub day. Well, this was a really long Facebook Live, so I hope that some people still stuck around. But anyways, thanks for attending. And I'll see you later. I'll go check and see what you guys said on the comments, and I will give you that link to that stuff. But I'm not going to leave it up very long. I'm going to just leave it up for like a day, and I'll come back and take it down. So if you're watching this later, sorry. It's like a limited time offer. Okay, bye.